Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Hello, guys. Welcome to Mr. Legend Crypto. I'm Mr. Legend. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the king of the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin. Welcome to the Crypto Matrix. Right now, Bitcoin is trades around $70,000. Bitcoin over the last 1 month is up 3.8%. Title of this video is going to be why Bitcoin pump, Bitcoin cost of production. Right now, the miners are being squeezed as Bitcoin price fall below $70,000. Miners are being squeezed as Bitcoin $70,000 price fails to cover $87,000 production cost. Bitcoin is now approximately 20% below its estimate average production cost. Historically, a future of a bear market. But that's not the complete story, guys. Bitcoin cost of production has always told us where the bear market is. It has always told us where the bottom of the bear market is coming through, because right now Bitcoin trades in that price region. And in the past, if you had bought Bitcoin at this price region, that would have been a very smart decision. When you see the miners stop selling, when you see the miners producing Bitcoin and Bitcoin is trading below their production price, you are basically just buying Bitcoin on a cheap. Imagine you buying something that is worth $80,000 for less than $70,000. That's the deal we have right now on Bitcoin. And that's why I expect Bitcoin to pump higher in the coming days and the coming weeks. Now, if we look at Bitcoin US dollar price chart over the years, Bitcoin has historically traded way above its cost of production. And there's an indicator on TradingView called Bitcoin cost of production. You can go to TradingView to get that indicator. And if you go to that indicator, you see where it has been historically a good time to buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin is trading in that band of cost of production or below it. Buying Bitcoin has always been a smart decision. So if you're seeing Bitcoin trading below its production band, that usually is a good future investment. The first time we saw Bitcoin rallying back to the production band was in December of 2014. We saw Bitcoin getting towards the production band in December of 2014. Bitcoin spent some months there. And historically, if you bought there, that was the first time Bitcoin was coming to that production band. But that was a very good time to accumulate a lot of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was trading around $200 to as high as around $300. We saw Bitcoin stay in that region for more than 300 days. But just imagine right now in the future buying Bitcoin way back in the past for $300. I'm sure every market participants that bought there were happy they did, because Bitcoin didn't trade below that price ever again. Maybe to trade below that price in the future. But one trend we've noticed over the years is that Bitcoin's production costs have been increasing over time. We saw Bitcoin return back to that band for some time in 2016 until we got to April of 2017 before Bitcoin went parabolic above that band, topping around $19,600. But when the bear market came through again in 2018, Bitcoin repeated the same thing we saw Bitcoin did in 2015. The bear market is when Bitcoin returned to that boost of production band. The bear market is when we see people even mining Bitcoin, even though it's very expensive to mine Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was being mined for around $5,000. Bitcoin's US dollar price chart was around $3,000. Buying Bitcoin then was a smart investment. You are buying a $5,000 asset for as low as $3,000. And if the only indicator you are believing was the cost of production band, and that would have been a smart investment again in 2018, because you saw Bitcoin trading around the $3,000 level. And that led to a rally. That's how Bitcoin go to $13,000. We headed back to the production band. This was during the COVID sell-off. It's very crazy, guys, as how a lot of market people think, a lot of market participants think the market is random. But over time, we find indicators that have accurately predicted the tops and the bottom. This time around, the cost of production band is always predicting the bottom. Anytime Bitcoin is trading around that band or below that band, you want to be a buyer, it means Bitcoin has a good risk to reward ratio then. We saw Bitcoin spending some time around that band in August of 2020. That was also a good time to buy Bitcoin. And that time we saw Bitcoin trading around the $13,000 level to as low as $9,000. If you bought Bitcoin then, over the next few months, you saw your Bitcoin investment going up by more than 600%. You saw Bitcoin heading to as high as $69,000. But then again, no matter how far Bitcoin spent across that band or above the band, Bitcoin finds a way to return to that band in the nearest future. And we saw Bitcoin doing that. It first touched the band here in June of 2022. Then we saw it settling around there in October to December of 2022, and that proved to be the bottom. We have seen that happen now 3 different times. Why will this time be different? Now, since 2022, Bitcoin came to the band just once during the Japanese yen trade carry buhaha we saw in the market. This was in August of 2024. Right now, Bitcoin has spent almost the longest time we've seen in Bitcoin's history. That's bar 2015. Bitcoin has spent more than 40 days right now trading in that band. We saw Bitcoin getting there on the 2nd of February 2026. Since then, we've seen Bitcoin not past $57,000, and Bitcoin has not gone below the $60,000. How long will Bitcoin last here? Only time will tell. But historically, this has proven to be a very, very good time to buy Bitcoin on the long term. These are proving to be a good time to invest in Bitcoin. If you're going to be holding Bitcoin long term, you can clearly see the cost of production for Bitcoin is increasing over the years. If Bitcoin is going to get to $1 million, I'm not going to be shocked if we look back in time and wonder what were market participants thinking when Bitcoin was trading at $69,000. Because right now, just some few years ago, we saw Bitcoin trading around $300. I'm sure right now are wondering what were market participants thinking when Bitcoin was trading around this $300 region in 2015. Because if Bitcoin goes to $200 right now, I know a lot of market participants that will scoop it up without thinking twice. But that time is your advantage. If you're one of those smart investors that understood the cost of production and for Bitcoin and how it affected the price, and knowing that anytime Bitcoin is hovering around this cost of production has always been a good investment for Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin on a monthly time frame. We saw Bitcoin hanging towards the cost of production for a very long time, from December 2014 to around April of 2017. That was always a good time to buy Bitcoin, because imagine just buying Bitcoin below $1,200 right now. You won't think the market is down, even if you are the most dumbest person then. You bought Bitcoin when you return back to its previous all-time highs. That previous all-time highs then was in December of 2013 when it got to around $1,200. If you bought Bitcoin then, you are dumb money. You are like, you know what, Bitcoin has got to new all-time highs, cost of production band, press the buy button. Right now, you'll be happy you did, even though you saw your investment going up first by 250%, by 550%, by 1,600%. Right now, your investment from around 2017 is up a whopping 6,200%. Now, there's no guarantee that Bitcoin will continue improving like this over the years. Bitcoin might have a huge period of consolidation, but one thing is sure, the cost of production of Bitcoin has been increasing over the years. I don't think this time is different. Are we going to ever see ourselves below those production band, cost of production band? Yes, Bitcoin could easily spend months and months below the production band. But one thing we have noticed over the years is that buying at the production band has always been a smart decision. Right now, Bitcoin traded around $70,000, and news reports reaching us is that the miners actually producing Bitcoin for around $87,000. So they're making huge losses on each Bitcoin they produce. Historically, when you see price action like this, historically, when the miners stop selling, that's the bottom. If the market participants that are bringing new Bitcoin to circulation stop selling, I believe anybody that would have sold on the way down. Bitcoin has lost around 50% from its all-time highs. So those dumb money that bought Bitcoin at $120,000, believing to continue going to the moon, they would have seen their investment down around 50%. And the last 3 years, we've not seen a 50% decline in Bitcoin. I won't be shocked if we see a lot of market participants that ran away just because they saw Bitcoin at $60,000. If you look at sentiment in the cryptocurrency market right now, a lot of market participants are still very, very fearful. We're seeing the fear and greed index reach record levels. Throughout my few years in crypto, and this is the period of time I've seen the fear and greed index stay this low for a very, very long time. It's very, very pressed to believe that to see Bitcoin trading around $60,000 with market participants being in extreme fear. When Bitcoin was at $3,000, I didn't even think we saw this level of extreme fear gripping the cryptocurrency market. But that's how sentiment moves. It moves to the extreme. When Bitcoin starts pumping to the moon, don't be shocked to see a lot of people saying we're going to the moon while sentiment start improving. I know that at some point in time in the future, we're going to see extreme fear return. We're going to see extreme greed return back to the cryptocurrency market. That extreme greed will lead to higher prices. My rough case scenario, that's just a summary of what I believe will happen to Bitcoin in 2026, is that we'll see a rally towards $100,000. That's been kind of my base case scenario. We see a relief rally towards $100,000. Get a lot of market participants excited before we eventually see Bitcoin go down below its cost of production. Bitcoin may easily get, if my theory is right, I see Bitcoin spend an extended period of time below its cost of production. I've had some market participants say Bitcoin can go to $15,000. Some even extreme market participants like myself, I believe we can go lower than that. $10,000 Bitcoin is still possible, but let's not be shocked to see Bitcoin have a relief bounce at this price region. If you look at Bitcoin's performance in Q1 of 2026, Bitcoin has lost 20% in the Q1 of 2026. Ethereum, on the other hand, is down 27%. The first 2 months of 2026 saw Bitcoin dumping by 10 and 14%. Right now, Bitcoin is still up 16%. The next few weeks, I believe we'll see Bitcoin end March on a positive note. Hopefully, we enter April with that positive momentum and we see Bitcoin start that rally towards $100,000. Right now, Bitcoin trades at $70,000. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Are you buying Bitcoin right now? The metrics, the cost of production metrics tell us this is a good time to buy Bitcoin. This is a good time to accumulate. If you're a long-term investor, this is a good time to accumulate if you're getting ready for that big bounce. And that's why I believe this bottom right here is different from what we saw in 2022. In 2022, we saw Bitcoin far away from its production band. When we saw the relief rally coming in 2022, when Bitcoin went from $33,000 to around $49,000. Bitcoin was far away from its production band. We saw Bitcoin eventually falling back to that production band. And right now, I believe the crowd is wrong at the extreme. We might spend 1 or 2 weeks or 1 or 2 months still in the production band. But when we leave, we're going to leave for good. When we leave, a big pump is around the corner. We saw Bitcoin have a big pump around the corner in 2019. We saw a big pump in 2020, entering 2021. And as late as 2023, entering 2024, we saw Bitcoin still giving us a huge pump to the upside. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Are you buying Bitcoin? When will you sell this Bitcoin for some sweet profit? How bullish are you on Bitcoin in 2026? Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more awesome videos. If you want to be a member, don't forget to subscribe in the comment section. Be a member or have member-only videos every week. Right now, I'm trying to get some likes. I'm trying to get some subscription. See you guys in my next video. Bye.